Today is the day of the Prime Minister's question time, and once again, Keir Starmer is facing a barrage of inquiries on critical issues, from the resignation of Tulp Sick amidst a corruption scandal to the questionable deal with Mauritius and the disastrous budget that's wreaking havoc across the nation. Yet, as expected, he seems utterly devoid of any substantial answers, or if he does respond, it's riddled with lies. In this video, we will dive deep into today's explosive developments, dissect the chaos, and provide a comprehensive overview of the national news that you need to know. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay in the loop. A retail consortium has issued a stark warning. 2/3 of businesses will inevitably have to raise prices to cope with the tax hikes imposed by this government. The Chancellor, in a reckless display of financial ignorance, has blindly forged ahead with an unprecedented borrowing spree, leaving all of us more vulnerable than ever. Now, businesses are sounding the alarm, saying they will raise prices to cover the so-called jobs tax. On top of that, we face an energy policy that will send bills skyrocketing while we spend more on day-to-day debt interest than we do on our schools and universities. The Prime Minister refuses to echo his Chancellor's claims that there would be no further tax increases this year. Will he now categorically rule out any more tax hikes? When pressed, the Prime Minister deflected, claiming, "Mr. Speaker, we made the right and difficult decisions in the budget. Decisions that they simply did not have the courage to take, which left us in this mess in the first place." He continues to insist that they are committed to fiscal responsibility while ignoring the very real consequences of their decisions. This government has flatlined the economy, and they want to lecture us on financial prudence? The mini-budget that crashed the economy has led us into the worst cost of living crisis in living history, and the Prime Minister has the audacity to talk about a mythical £22 billion black hole. Let's get real here. The Office for Budget Responsibility found no such black hole. The Prime Minister's economic strategy is a farce, and the borrowing costs have reached a staggering 27-year high for 30-year gilts. The Chancellor, who professes to be committed to fiscal discipline, is already being whispered about in the city as someone who can't meet her own fiscal rules. He's promised us just one budget this year. Can we trust him to deliver on that? As the Prime Minister was busy trying to deflect blame, he was also grappling with the fallout from the resignation of a close ally. The former City Minister, embroiled in a corruption scandal, has left the Prime Minister's judgment in question. This was a minister tasked with anti-corruption efforts, now under criminal investigation for allegedly dealing in stolen properties. So, will the Prime Minister extend the full support of our National Crime Agency to ensure these allegations are thoroughly investigated? When asked, he sidestepped the question, highlighting a blatant disregard for accountability. He rambled on about how the former minister referred herself to an independent advisor and how there was no wrongdoing found, but let's not kid ourselves, this is a government that has lost its moral compass. The Prime Minister seems more interested in attacking the opposition than addressing the serious corruption issues plaguing his own ranks. He had the gall to point fingers at the shadow Foreign Secretary, who he claims breached the ministerial code, but that's not the point. The Prime Minister appointed a convicted fraudster as his Transport Secretary, and just days ago, he professed full confidence in the now disgraced anti-corruption minister. This is the same government negotiating secret deals that could potentially surrender British territory, leaving taxpayers to foot the bill for this humiliation. Now, reports suggest that his government may even write a check to compensate Gerry Adams. This is beyond shameful. Let's face it, under his leadership, taxes have risen, borrowing has soared, mortgage rates have jumped, and business confidence is at an all-time low. Can this country really afford 4 more years of his disastrous judgment? The Prime Minister continues to deflect, claiming the opposition is full of nonsense while ignoring the very real consequences of his policies. He's trying to spin a narrative that paints the previous government's actions as the root cause of our current problems, but the facts speak for themselves. Every day, we hear complaints with no real solutions being offered. The opposition is like a blank piece of paper, completely devoid of ideas, while the country watches in dismay as they flounder. What do you think about the chaos we witnessed in today's session? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you haven't already, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more insights on the pressing issues impacting England. Thank you for tuning in, and here's hoping for a better tomorrow.